I appreciate I didn't have the tunes on until halfway through the break, but they went on. So hopefully you all enjoyed that and we're not all asleep. So very, very excited to move on to our next talker. It's our keynote speaker, Kat Sexton, who's joining from MHCLG, and she's just stepped into a brand new role there. So we'll hand over to Kat. Yeah, take it away.
Thank you so much, Emma, and thank you so much for having me. Yes, so as Emma said, I have recently stepped into the role of Deputy Director we've just rebranded to Local AI from AI for Local Government. So those of you on the call might know me from local government, so I couldn't agree with Kath more. I am usually local government through and through. I'm very, very passionate indeed about working in the public sector and especially local government. So I can't tell you how privileged and proud I am to be able to temporarily step into the role in MHCLG to work on the local AI programme while Clara Barnett is off on maternity leave. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this programme today, and please do feel free to contact me afterwards if you would like to know more. So you've probably seen this quote before from our Prime Minister. He defines AI as one of the defining opportunities of our generation, and he's really keen on ensuring that central and local government can really leverage the power of AI to help deliver public services for the people of our country, which is brilliant. And we know that for local councils, it's not just about efficiency. It really is about helping us move from sort of crisis to coping. We know that there's lots of opportunity within the services that we provide at scale in local government to actually improve. We've been doing digital transformation for years, probably lots of us on this call, but actually AI is, as we're all kind of recognizing, is a complete game changer. So part of my role here is to really help councils think about how we can leverage AI to improve our public services. So we're looking at freeing up time for frontline workers, focusing on what matters most, supporting residents, and a shift from firefighting to coping. And we by freeing up our frontline workers, we hope that we can enable people to allow people to work on more prevention work and produce better outcomes for staff and communities. So if you go to the next slide, please. So yeah. So at the moment, as you're talking about, there are some really good examples and some pockets of innovation in the public sector and in councils at the moment. And I think from MHCLG, we're really keen to support across the board to kind of so it doesn't happen in pockets, but actually the whole sector. How can we actually improve wide-scale adoption? And we're recognising that needs investment and support, and anything that we can do in the centre to improve that, that's where we're kind of positioning ourselves. So we have a programme that's just been signed off. While Clara was in post at the end of last year, we have a programme that's been signed off that's now been agreed to go for the next 4 years. So we'll be aiming to accelerate and enable use of AI across local government with specific interest in high priority areas such as adults and children's social care, homelessness, and SEND. So also in the end of last year, if you move to the next slide, my colleagues in MHCLG have been doing discovery work, looking at some of what councils are already doing. This is just tip of the iceberg. I know that there are so many more examples of great work that's happening in councils up and down the country. So we've been pulling together a lot of information about what people are already doing and some of the value that's producing. So it's not, like I say, not isolated cases at all. I know that lots of local authorities are leading the way in using AI to drive efficiency, which is fantastic. And on the next slide, we think that, as part of this, the local government is in such a good position to harness the benefits of AI. I know firsthand that there's quite a lot of number of automatable tasks. There's lots of rich data sources. And like I say, we're already seeing some real pockets of innovation. But there are challenges, and we know that, there's skill gaps, there's legacy systems, there's budget constraints, and also just how councils are kind of the mindset involved to actually start using this sort of technology to completely rethink services in this age is an enormous leap. So there's some of the things that we want to try and help with if we can. So yeah, next slide's kind of said, what we've said already, like if AI can shift services from crisis to coping, we can see that a lot of the budgets in councils are really going on a lot of the social care, the frontline services. So if AI can take away some of the mundane work, so that people can spend more time doing the people-centered work, then that's kind of what we're here for. Oh, there's some noises. Sorry, I have got a bit of a cold. I'm trying to hide it, but not very well. It's that time of year again, isn't it? So just a little bit about us then. So we have, because I speak to quite a lot of people, obviously in councils, and they go, what is it? Where do you work in MHCLG? What's the directorate? So I thought it might be helpful, just as a bit of context, to talk about the directorate that I'm in. So there's actually an AI directorate within MHCLG, led by Tom Smith. I lead local AI, newly rebranded local AI, which I'll be doing until January next year when Clara comes back from maternity leave. There's also local digital. It's been around for a long, long time. Well, since about 2018, supporting councils with digital and cyber foundations. So you probably already aware, or people in your teams will be working with MHCLG on kind of the cyber aspect of what we do. And then we also have a advanced analytics and AI service that is more focused on MHCLG internally. So it's just a bit of context about kind of where we work in MHCLG and where we are. Go to the next slide. So this is our goal, and this is what's been signed off as part of our plan. I love this goal, and obviously this was created before I started. But I think it's just really clear in terms of what we're trying to achieve from the centre. So obviously accelerate and enable responsible use of AI across local government to drive efficiency, reduce costs and improve services. I think that's super duper clear. I think everyone can kind of get behind that. And obviously the star there is for, obviously as I said before, in terms of what we know where a lot of the budget's going in local government in terms of adults and social care and homelessness. So if we can really help councils start going from crisis to coping in some of those really, really critical services, then that would, obviously that would be amazing. It could make a real difference for local government. So yes, that's what we're doing. If we go to the next slide, I'll just talk a little bit about our approach. So there's two main aspects of the program that we are launching as we speak, actually. So all of the signed off happened towards the end of last year. At the moment, we're just setting the program up. So we're thinking about solutions. Title. But scalable solutions is basically around deploying a suite of AI tools. And when we say AI tools, we're thinking more about capabilities. So actually the things that AI is like really good at. So for example, the first one that we're looking at is transcription. So AI is really good at transcription. The I.AI incubator in DSIT has created a transcription tool called Minute, which actually we could use and tailor to fit the needs of sort of frontline workers in councils. So potentially with adult social care, with children's social care send, and housing, homelessness, things like that. So that's one of the first things that we're looking at. We did a big well, I want to talk about it, so I won't talk any more about it on this slide. But yeah, the idea actually build it once and offer actually kind of level councils up in that sort of way. We've seen from our discovery that it could make a real difference actually with frontline workers if they didn't have to sort of have their meeting and then go back and type everything up. Actually, if we had transcription and then summarization built in. But the other really important part is the critical foundations work. So not just offering the AI tools, but thinking about data quality, thinking about ethics, safe, reliable, secure, also sort of helping councils navigate the really competitive market that's out there. There's kind of like a AI race going on at the moment. So if we can help councils navigate some of that, then that's kind of what we're looking to do. And we're really looking to work with councils in partnership to create some of this stuff. So please do reach out if that's something that interests you. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking to do. So what we've been doing so far, as I say, we've been doing a lot of talking and listening with councils. We've been joining up with other government departments, central government departments as well. Late last year, we ran a discovery on temporary accommodation with about 50 councils identifying AI opportunities. We also ran a hackathon, which probably a lot of you went to or know people that went to it. It was in Birmingham. We hosted that with the GDS and obviously with Birmingham City Council, which is where I was at the time. Events, good ideas that came out about what we could do with AI in the sort of temporary accommodation, homelessness, rough sleeping space. So we've been doing lots in terms of experimenting with AI prototyping. We've also been doing developing a 12-month strategy for the Mayoral Data Council to enable local leaders to better shape central decision making on data. And we've also started developing an AI ethics and market support proposition. So there's already quite a lot of work that's been going on in sort of the more discovery stage of the programme, but we're really starting to ramp it up this year, which is very exciting. And yeah, the next slide, lots of exciting things happening. So obviously we're doing all of this at the same time as I say, the Prime Minister is kind of leading on AI exemplars such as the Extract tool. The Blueprint for Modern Digital Government has launched last year with a recent launch of the roadmap, which outlines the vision of how to make public services better. GDS Local has recently been announced as part of DSIT. And obviously, as I mentioned before, the incubator for AI, the I.AI team, are working across the government to incubate AI tools. So there's so many exciting things. So I guess, yeah, we're kind of a part of the picture of this wider government ambitions with AI. So I'll just talk a little bit about the temporary accommodation discovery then that we ran last year. And forgive me, I wasn't in the role when we ran it, so I'll do my best to sort of summarize it. But if you go to the next slide, you can see kind of why we looked at this area. I mean, we all know, those of you from local councils know that it's a bit of a crisis in terms of temporary accommodation. A lot of residents in temporary accommodation. That was the figure, I think, in June last year. So 132 households, and you can kind of see the increase that's happened over quite a short period of time. So that was why we thought that this is an area that potentially we really could look at. So some of the learnings are on the next slide. So some of obviously there's a whole load of findings that came out of the discovery. This is just very, very high level. I don't know if everyone else can see the slides still. They've disappeared off my screen, but I don't know if other people can see them. Oh, yeah, they're back. So yeah, we know that the TA crisis isn't necessarily a technology problem, but we do know that technology and AI could help if we can, like I say, if we can free staff up to do the more people work, then that could really help in that area. So yeah, workload pressures are very significant. They're diverting caseworkers away from providing direct support, and obviously we can do, because the services are so busy, there's very little that we can do in terms of prevention. So that's kind of what we're looking to help with, if we can divert some of that heavy workload so that people are freed up to do some of the more meaningful work. Go to the next slide, please. Aha, so this is like some of the photos from the hackathon. So it's over 2 days. There was 150 colleagues from council, central government, private sector, and academia. There was 3 challenge statements. I won't go through all of those, but there was so many great ideas. And the winning one was a team called Match, and they demonstrated a prototype solution where they were using AI to match people with accommodation, and it would match people much more quickly, increase suitability, and overall reduce the time spent in emergency and temporary accommodation. So actually, I'm pleased to say that this is something that, as part of our temporary accommodation work stream, we are actually looking at progressing. So we are in the process of sort of contacting the people in that team and getting hold of the prototype that they created, and we're working with a partner to see if it's something that we can actually create as part of the program, which is really exciting. So more on that in the future. And then the next thing that we're doing is around transcription. So you can see there Keir Starmer in his meeting, he was actually using Minute in one of his meetings. This is something that we're looking to sort of take on. So those of you who know, those of you who don't know, the I.AI incubator is really keen on kind of experimentation and incubating AI solutions, which is brilliant, but they're always going to be looking at the next thing and innovating. So they're probably not going to be hosting sort of live services and make them available. So that's where we come in at MHCLG. We're looking at taking on Minute purely because the discovery that we had really showed that there was such a need for transcription in frontline work in local authorities. So we can actually take that on and host that. So yeah, I've already talked about the budget of social care. You can move on to the next slide, please, if that's all right. And you can see from these survey results, as part of the discovery, there's only sort of 5% of local councils there that were surveyed saying that weren't interested at all in AI transcription. So either, mostly very interested or extremely interested in transcription. So so definitely something we'd like to sort of help with if we can. So yes.
Sorry, the slides
don't worry.
disappeared again.
Don't worry.
You can't get the staff these days.
The whole deck shut down that time, so bear with me. It's all right. I think we're running to good time anyway.
Yeah, it's all good.
You've got loads of chat in the chat. You've got loads in the chat.
Great. And, I hope that we'd have some time for questions. So that's good.
Also, the thing that I always love the most about these sorts of events is people are liaising with each other. Ooh, which council are you in? Ooh, should we meet up? It's really great to see.
Right, our slides back, Kat.
Brilliant. So we're really coming to the end of the presentation, really. So kind of as I said at the beginning, there's obviously going to be, and I'm sure some of them are here, including North Yorkshire, some pioneer councils out there that are probably doing a lot with AI, but there will also be some that aren't, maybe they aren't doing as much in that space. So it can be fragmented, it might be duplicative, and there could be just a risk of many councils sort of spending a lot of money on some quite basic AI tools. So that's where we're looking to come. It's obviously very early days. We've got a plan for the programme. We know the kinds of things that we want to achieve, but we're also making sure that we stay curious, that we listen, and that we aren't scared of kind of adapting and pivoting as per kind of what's needed. Obviously, we are here to support local government achieve the outcomes that they're trying to achieve and help with all of efficiency. So we're absolutely keeping an open door, keeping an open mind, and really interested, like I say, in collaborating and listening and working with you to make sure that we're getting it right and that we're offering the right kind of support for councils. So I hope that's interesting. I will just, the next slide has just got a bit of a high level plan. We are actually working on I was trying to get it done before today, but you know, this is good enough in terms of the plan, but we are working on another roadmap to sort of show kind of exactly what we're doing over the next year or so. But you can see there, you know, the temporary accommodation discovery's finished, the minute local authority trials finished, and so now we're kind of really working on scaling, you know, adopting minute, on scaling minute. The product X is the temporary accommodation one that we're still kind of defining at the moment. But yeah, we're ramping up more teamwork based on sort of the discovery findings, and we're kind of building the team and sort of doing all of that right. What are the things we're working on? How are we going to resource it? All of, you know, what are our OKRs? What are our success metrics and things? So we're still at that stage. It's very, very early days, but yes, it's a very exciting year to come. So that's it from me. But if you would like to get involved on the next slide, then we've just got a QR code there. Please do sign up for our newsletter, and yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunities to get involved in our work if you are interested. We would love to work with you. Thank you very much for your time.
Fab. Thank you so much, Kat. We do have a bit of time left, and you have sparked an incredible amount of discussion in the chat. I think, you know, particularly I think from people that are maybe working on things that could be scaled, and also things that maybe colleagues were keen to hear a bit more on. I don't know if anybody wanted to sort of make use of the time that we've got and ask a few questions. If Kat, if that's all right by you. Yeah.
Hello, I think you can hear me, but I think my camera might not be working. Oh, there we go. So hiya. I've been speaking to Clara before, and sort of just wanted to kind of carry on the conversation really between North Yorkshire Council and MHCLG. And I suppose I've got about 100 questions, but one of them is we've developed a product with Julia, a leading AI who was on the call earlier, called Hank, and it's a housing and care buddy, and we developed it specifically in the same aims that you've described there around you build it once and it would work for everybody. It's based on publicly available information, and it's around housing and care policy guidance. Are you in a position where you're kind of taking ideas that you could then scale? So would it, you know, as a council, in fact, we've tested it with 5 councils, so there's 5 different councils that have tested it, it works. Is it something that we can feed in to say that your team would be able to help us scale that nationally, or are you incubating your own ideas only at the moment?
I think, as part of our original idea, there is support to scale in terms of helping councils scale things that they have built to. I think at the moment it's not something we're doing, but absolutely we should be looking at it. So yeah, let's have a conversation, Kath, because I'd like to understand kind of what you've done and yeah, the impact that you're having. At the end of the day, we want everything will be around how the best things that we can do for the sector. So if what you're doing has lots of impact and it's one of the things that's absolutely needed by local government, then we should absolutely look at working together on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kath.
Kat, I'll probably reach out to the same regard. I dropped a note in the chat. So with both EHCP Plus and CHC Plus, which we'll talk about today, I guess CHC particularly, it's a national framework and it's a national approach, and everyone's on the same thing. So it's like such a perfect use case to just scale. And
what does it stand for?
Continuing healthcare. Well, wait a minute. I'm the next on the agenda, Kat. So if you hang on till the next item, you'll be able to hear. But yeah, absolutely. Like it's everyone does the same framework. Everyone fills out the same form, and actually, there's quite a lot in that health and adult social care space where health mandate particular forms in a particular way. So yes. like it sounds like there's quite a lot of people on the call that are thinking about, you know, scaling things. So we'll make sure that everyone's got your contact details, and I think you're going to get lots of emails after this session, Kat. Cool.
And I should
Shelley.
probably ask one of the team to get back to you. But
Shelley, did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, it's amazing to see all these ideas coming out, and now there being more of a focus towards local gov, because obviously it's always great to see GDS and all of those things that they. Sorry, my cat's decided that they would like to be part of the call. And it's great to see all those developments there. I think one of the biggest things I've noticed from local authority is there tends to be not as much consistency as across the board. So I mentioned in the chat that I know one local government group, one council, they refuse to use any form of transcript because they're data protection officer. What would be great is if we could get some kind of standardization. So I know there's the AI playbook, the handbook that's out there, but not all of this is publicized or shared. So you've got so many different groups, like you've got ADAS for social care, and everybody's sharing different ideas, but none of it is focused. And there's lots of different councils talking in the background going, this tool is really great, that tool's not so great. It would be great if it would be good if we could have more consistency, more standardization, more direction from yourselves, as in to our finance officers saying, look, you do have to invest in AI, because that's another focus where there's a lot of finance officers that are like, oh no, that's going to cost money, stand away. It's just that kind of thing. If that could be understood and looked at some point.
That's just such a great idea, Shelley, and that could be really part of the critical foundations work. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Whereabouts? Which council do you work in, Shelley?
Buckinghamshire Council.
Do you mind if one of my team chats with you about that?
I would love to chat about it.
Excellent.
AI is one of my favourite subjects.
Yay! Right, I've written you down. Thank you. We'll find you on LinkedIn.
Amazing. And Catherine.
Hi, I'm from Surrey County Council, and we are having exactly the same problem with DPIA, especially with social care. And so if we could be involved in that, we have just struggled to get anything through to the point where they have prevented anyone from using something like Copilot. So
wow.
AI solutions is really difficult.
Amazing. Written you down as well, Catherine. Thank you.
Any final questions for Kat? We've got just a couple of minutes left. If there is maybe one more, it's fine if there isn't.
That's fine if there isn't. I'll go back in the chat as well, and if there's anything I can answer in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Amazing. Really, really appreciate it, Kat. Oh, sorry, no, okay. Fab. So really appreciate it, Kat. Well done. Especially as you had a cold, you persevered through. So yes, that was great.